Hi, thank you so much for joining me today for day 21 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life. And today's sketch has been designed by the gorgeous Crystal Barrett of Pineapple Papers here on YouTube. I'll add all her details down below in the comments section. Not the comments section, the description box, sorry. I'm scrapping a photo of my son and my daughter when they were at school back in 2014, and the fire brigade came to visit the school and they had their photo put in the local paper because they've been learning about the Great Fire of London and painting some pictures which they are holding up very proudly in this photo. James is front and centre and Amelia's right at the back holding her picture aloft nice and high. They're so cute. So I've pulled out my Bella Besties from the School is Cool collection because I wanted to bring in the reds and the black, navy, green, and really the colours that you can see in the photos, but particularly the red. I wanted a really nice fire engine red, and this dotted paper is absolutely perfect. So I've torn two corners, one to put in the top left-hand corner and one to put in the bottom right per Crystal's sketch. Crystal does a lot of 8.5 by 11 layouts, and I suspect that this sketch is an 8.5 by 11, but I've just stretched it to make it 12 by 12. So I wanted the red paper as the main feature and then a little bit of this black and white polka dot. So you will have seen me there doing my water technique where I just add some water along the torn edge of the paper and then I can curl that up and position it underneath nicely. So just going through and curling these edges. It does take a little while, but it's worth the effort. And then when it's dry, it dries almost rock hard, so it doesn't really move. It sets the curl in place, if you like. So just, as I say, going through and rolling this up. I really should have cut some of this out. While I'm doing this, please do remember to go and check the description box down below to see everybody else who's joining in on this fabulous hop. There are a lot of people, and Christie has created a playlist for everybody to add their videos. So every day that people create a video, they're adding it to that playlist. So it's just getting longer and longer. And there are some fabulous process videos to watch. And you may learn a tip or trick or two if you watch them. So please do. And give everybody a like and a comment if you've got time. It really does help us so much as creators to get feedback on what we're doing for you. So that would be really lovely if you could do that for everybody. So it's still curling up these edges. It really did take a long time, didn't it? I think I was on a bit of a go slow when I was filming this. But once it's done, the rest of the layout does come together pretty quickly. You can see in the sketch in the top right hand corner there, Crystal's created a really lovely layering effect, which she's so well known for, with all different layers. And I love that anyway. So I'm going to go to town with my layering. And I have pulled out some of my older bits from my stash drawer. If you've watched my craft room tour, you will have seen I've got a drawer full of very old stash stickers and bits and pieces, and I try and dip in there when I remember to pull bits out and get them used up. It's nice not to just use from a collection. I think we're so used to now buying a collection, they're so complete, and just using what you get in that collection. It's really nice to add some bits and bobs from other places as well. So you've seen there, I was using my Sticks 2 tape runner to stick all these bits down, and then I'm just using my scissors to trim off the extra bits on the edges from that white dotty paper. And then I shall do the other corner now, and then we're ready to start with the photo. And the photo I've had printed for quite some time. I think it's a 3x4. Our neighbour worked for the local press at the time, and he managed to get me a copy of the photo. So that's why it's pre-printed and a smaller size, but it's worked really nicely for this layout, so I'm very happy. So just trimming up those edges now, and then I can start with the rest of the layout. So first of all, I'm going to mat the photo onto some white cardstock just to give it some separation from all the layers that I'll be adding underneath. And to the right of the screen, you can see I've pulled out loads and loads of papers from my papers bin. I just put all scraps when I break down collections once they're finished into a box. And I went through there and pulled out lots of different colours that will go with these photos. This piece that I'm matting on now is actually from Art Options Alina from 49er Market. I just thought the green went really nicely. And now this blue is from the blue that I'm about to pull out is from Bella Besties. That frame is also from Art Options Elena, because I knew that had a lot of red in. I just wanted to quickly go through and see what I could use from there. In fact, I don't end up using that frame because I feel it's just a little bit too much with all the red at the top and bottom in those triangles that I've got in the corners. But it was a nice idea, and I'll certainly use it on a future red layout. I do like layering up with frames, as you will have seen if you watched my video a couple of days ago. So just trimming down, I decided to offset the 2 layers on this photo, so I'm just trimming the excess bits off the sides, and then I can glue them down. You can see that's the B side of the Elena paper. And I'll just trim this blue one down as well, just so it's not quite so big. I don't want to make this photo mat too big, because obviously I'm working with a relatively small area in between those 2 triangles. So I'm adding the notebook edge that you can see that Crystal's got in her sketch. Hers looks like it's a full photo mat. I'm just adding a small edge. I didn't want too much yellow because it's just in the firemen's helmets, and that's it really on the photo. So it was just to bring a little bit in. And I think it's at this point I decide not to use that frame. So just gluing that down. I really need to refill my glue bottle again. Still trying to use up that glue that's okay but not brilliant. Nearly there now, I think. And this is an old Project Life card. I've got hundreds of these, so I'm trying to bring those in when and where I can as well. And this one says documented, and it's got that lovely green that James has got on his school coat. So I thought that would work nicely. This is another strip of paper from Elena, that blue piece at the bottom, as is this red. I did pull quite a few of the colours out of the Art Options Elena. And now I'm just going to fiddle about with the placement, because I want the bigger side to be on the right hand side of the photo, because obviously there's more space above the photo there, but it takes me a little while to work that out, and I think my natural inclination is to build up on the left hand side. Could be because I'm left-handed, I'm not quite sure. Let me know. Do you tend to build up more on the right or the left? I do wonder if that's a left-handed thing. So just playing around, trying to work out how to position these. I'm much happier with that, but I do move that blue stripy piece down a little bit when I glue it all together. And at this point, you may have noticed I haven't actually distressed any edges, and I tried really hard not to, but it didn't work. You'll see in a minute. Once this mat's all stuck together, I do go around with my fingernails and just rough up all the edges of all the papers before I glue them down onto the main page. So still just trying to work out exactly how to put all this together. I was still pondering whether to use that documented Project Life card to do my journaling on, but I don't in the end, because I didn't like it sticking out as much as I would have needed to add the journaling. So I actually add the journaling along the diagonals that I've created at the top and bottom of the page. You'll see that shortly. But here I am, you see, pulling it out and thinking, should I? But I will just use that space, a much smaller space, to add my date with my roller date stamp. So I'm committing, and I think this is the point. Yes, I add the roller date stamp here, like I say, to that documented Project Life card. And just add some ghosting, as you've seen me do plenty of times. And then I decide I want to bring a little bit more yellow into the right hand side. And again, this is from my scraps paper bin. It's from Summer Market from Cartabella. It's got that beautiful watercolour texture to it. I do like all the different textures of all the different papers. Looks like I'm putting a lot of tape on with my tape runner there. I'm not. I'm struggling with it a little bit. As it gets to the end, I find that it's much harder to glue down. I think also because of the heat, the adhesive's been a little bit affected. So this looks like I'm doing loads, but it's just because it's not rolling, so it's not moving and adding the glue down. So I'm just having to help it. You can see, just roll it on a little bit so that it catches on the paper and then does roll through. There we go. So all the edges have been distressed with my nails, as you can see. And that's the main photo mat glued down. So here I am with my journaling. As I say, it's just across the top and bottom diagonal, and I've just put, you were learning all about the Great Fire of London at school. The Warrington Fire Brigade visited to see your artwork, and you both appeared in the local newspaper. So now I want to add some inking. You can see in Crystal's sketch that she's got some, and I'm actually copying more or less what she used. I've got this Tim Holtz mask, which is like the Disney sparkles, and I just thought that would be really nice. So I brought that in with a scattered straw, which is a paler yellow, and I'm just very lightly adding that to the background just to create a bit of interest across that white card. And then once that's done, I decided to bring in my LE Studio stamps and stamp some of these plus signs in Archival ink black, just to create that pop of black across the page. And you can see some of the areas I'm building up by overlapping the stamps and creating bigger clusters, and then some I'm taking off the edge of the page and creating much smaller clusters. But this is one of my all-time favourite stamps. If you've seen my videos for a while, you would have seen me using this plenty of times. I think it's called Thankful. It's an LE Studio stamp. I love all her stamps. I am going to be treating myself to some more soon. So this sparkle title is a JD3DPrint wood title, and I just thought that worked really nicely with the photo. These blue tickets I got at a crop that I went to in a little goodie bag. So just, as I say, just going through some older stash and using it up. That chipboard piece says "You're Awesome," and that's from the Art Options Elena from 49er Market. And now I'm bringing in some of the bits and pieces that we stock here at Hey Little Magpie. This gorgeous silver star, and before I bring any more in, I'm just playing about with a tag that I had in my paper bin. So add that to the top, and then one of these beautiful knitted stars or woven stars in our bits and pieces in yellow. That's definitely my favourite colour. I've used these a couple of times now recently. So just getting those layered and stuck down, and then I'm going to come in with some wax twine in navy blue to add to that top tag, and I shall trail that down and then through the P, the hole in the P of the title sparkle, just to secure it in place really. So just getting that threaded through, and we're nearly done. Just going to trim off the excess thread now that I've worked out where it's going. There we go. And now bringing in a flare badge from Hey Little Magpie. And then one of the tiny red stars. I just thought this was a lovely finishing touch there at the bottom. And then some of the grey tickets. I just love these tickets. So this one here says special delivery, and I'm just getting it nestled in underneath those stars and then amongst the layers of the photo mats. And then I'm adding a little tab at the top. This is from Art Options Elena as well. And then just added the stamp that says "The Best" on top of that, just to fill in that white space. And that's an LE Studio stamp. Her stamps are brilliant for doing things like that. Another little silver ticket, top down the side there. And to finish off, a sprinkling of sequins. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed this process video, and I shall see you tomorrow for day 22. Thanks again. Bye.